All right, it's always a pleasure to have my next guest on the show. Tony Gravely is back, and another win, this time over Simon Oliveira, a unanimous decision at UFC 270. Tony, how are you?
I'm great, sir. How about you?
I'm good, man. It's nice to talk to you again. And I know we did talk a little bit after the fight, and you said you weren't thoroughly impressed with yourself. I guess you wanted to get a finish, but that was a wrestling clinic. 11 takedowns. You set yourself a personal record with this one. Looking back at it now that you've had a few days to digest it, how do you feel about your performance?
Honestly, I haven't even watched the fight yet. So, not watching it. I mean, I'm still, I always want to finish. Everybody wants it to be the most dominant it could possibly be, as far as a fight goes. But at the end of the day, no matter how I feel about my performance personally, the main thing is that I was able to win, and at this level, fights are it's such a just winning a fight at this level is huge. So always have to keep that in the back of my head. But like I would have liked to get a finish, but I'm happy that I was able to win. And sometimes it's good to have those tough fights because nobody wants them at the time, but when you're in there, once it's over, whether you're happy with your performance or not, you almost feel accomplished that you were able to exert so much in the amount of time in scraps, for 15 minutes. So, and hats off to him. I thought that he was gonna break in the third, but he never stopped fighting. So 11 takedowns, which means he had to keep getting up. He got up that many times, which means he's a tough dude. So I was happy to share the octagon with him and have a tough fight, especially coming off a loss, makes it feel even better, to get the win.
Yeah, no doubt. And as you mentioned, very tough guy. Maybe it surprised you a little bit with just how tough he was. But I did want to ask, with the pace that you set and the wrestling that you executed throughout the fight, how was your gas tank? Was your cardio good as you were getting into the end of round two and round three?
Yeah, so cardio is good. I mean, with wrestling and stuff, the thing is no matter how good a shape you're in wrestling or a fight or anything that's heavy paced, you're going to get tired. But it's how you get through being tired. So, like, with wrestling, I get tired all the time, but I just keep going. So it's not necessarily about how you look and how you feel as far as being tired, but what you do when you get tired. So no matter how tired I got, I was gonna keep doing the same thing over and over and over, no matter what, until like my body just couldn't do it anymore. So, but as far as my cardio felt, I felt I felt great. Once the fight was over, of course you're tired because you just fought another man, but I wasn't like dead tired, but it was a good pace, and yeah, I was proud that I was able to keep up that much of a pace the entire fight.
He kept going for a lot of guillotines throughout the fight. Were any of them ever really tight? Like, did you feel like you were ever in any danger with those submission attempts?
The only one that was like the that was really tight was the first one. He threw a front kick within like the first, it was probably 20 seconds, and I think I had cuffed the foot, but the toes flicked my eye, and that's when my eye was like kind of swollen. So he got me in the eye really, from the very within first 20-30 seconds, and then the first guillotine he got was actually like properly set up, so that was like the correct way to do it. So I remember thinking like, man, this is the first 20-30 seconds. This is where I did not want to be, and here I am in this position, But at that point, I've been here, I've been there a bunch, and it sucks being there, but I know how to fight my way out. You stay calm, you keep your breathing, making sure you drop your shoulder and make space for your neck while you fight the hands. So it's a lot of stuff that you have to do that people don't quite see while you're actually in there. Rather than just being tough, you
Mhm.
have to be technical while you're trying to get little bits of air. So I've been there a bunch, so I've had a lot of practice in that area. So I fought out of that one. The other ones weren't so bad. I think the other ones are more of, I was going to take him down, and he was so confident in that submission, one that he's gotten a lot of times. So instead of defending takedowns, he just kept grabbing my neck, which I just made sure that every time I landed, I tried to land cross body so it wasn't tight.
You landed a big shot, and it looked like it hurt him. I think it was towards the end of the second round. If you had a little bit more time, do you think you could have got him out of there?
I think so. I mean, I then again, I don't really remember. Like when you're in there, I haven't watched it yet, but he was tough, man. He was, and that's what I expected. I expected. I don't think he's ever been finished before. I would have been the first. I would have loved to be the first person to finish him, but I don't quite remember exactly. There were a couple of times where I actually thought, even with the ground and pound, like just the way I was hitting him and the way he was reacting, it looked like he was like almost starting to go out, but then he never did. So, it sucks when you get in those situations, but you just have to keep chipping away, And my coach Bruno kept saying, like, don't look for those really big shots. Like, it's going to be an accumulation of shots. So, but when you're out there, you're hoping that you can just land it, but it usually doesn't work out like that.
What does this win over such a tough guy say about you and your standing in the division right now? Coming off a loss, one that you could have won, you come back, you get a dominant win over a really durable, tough guy that I think opened up a lot of people's eyes as to how good he can be in the division. Like, what does this win do for you now here moving forward?
I think it just solidifies the fact that I deserve to be here, and that I'm one of the best in the division, and I can outwork anybody. I can outgrind anybody if I need to. So, it just shows that I'm here to stay, and that I can win fights. I can do anything. I can do, any of the thing. I can strike. My last fight was mostly striking. Didn't go my way, but it was going my way. I had some success, and I can also wrestle. So everybody knows I can wrestle, but within fighting, sometimes different fights you have to change, and being able to be versatile is what makes what this sport's all about. Being able to mix things up, and so it just shows that I can mix it up, and I'm looking to keep on doing it. And next fight, hopefully I would like a finish instead of having to go 15 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about the performance bonus, or I guess maybe the lack thereof, for yourself, because you didn't get one. It went to Said Nurmagomedov and Vanessa Demopoulos. Now, I'm a MMA junkie, Tony, so like I can appreciate these grind fights. One that you just had and coming out on top. Like, to me, that's incredibly impressive. And like what Nurmagomedov did, finishing Cody Stamann like that was very impressive. I think it deserves the bonus. And Demopoulos, I just interviewed her. She's like the nicest person on planet Earth. So I'm so happy for her to get the win. But like, I don't necessarily know that was as impressive as your win. Like, what is your thought process as a fighter, someone that's trying to get those bonuses? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think like the UFC should be looking for, when they are given, $50K at the end of the night?
I don't know. Usually when I watch fights, I can kind of pick out who I like. In my head, I always think like, oh, that's going to be a bonus. And then I'll go look just to make sure, because as a fighter, I want to get bonuses too, right? So, and I know that the best way to do so is by finishing fights and looking good, that's that. And then there's the fight of the night, which I'd rather have performance bonus than a fight of the night, because you want the fight to be you're training for a competitive fight as hard as it could be, but 100% of the people want to go out there and just get over with and get the bonus, right? But that night, UFC 270, there were a lot of finishes, and I wasn't quite sure who should have got bonuses, but I mean, I guess I thought they actually probably could have given out more bonuses, because there were some guys that had some other really good fights. So, but I'm upset that I didn't get a bonus. I would have loved to go out there and get one, but I've got, but the good thing is I've got some experience, got more cage time in there. I got to push myself a little further, and I earned myself the opportunity, the chance to go back out there and have another opportunity to fight and win another bonus.
So what did you do post fight? Did you get a chance to kind of spend some time with your wife and your team and watch the rest of the card? I mean, 2 title fights. I'm sure you were interested in watching them. Like, tell me what the remainder of the evening was like for you.
Yeah, so I actually didn't get to watch all of the fights. I got to watch pieces of it. So they send you through and you do your interviews and your pictures, and they take you back to the hotel. You shower, and then at that point, I had a couple people that had came to see me. I had 3 buddies that I wrestled with in college come see me. One of our friends that lives in California, my father-in-law, and so we were trying to figure out like where to go just to eat. So I didn't really get to see all the fights. Probably what I'll do this weekend, since there are fights this weekend actually, but since got a little bit of time this weekend, I'll probably sit back and like watch the whole card from start to finish again, because I know I missed out on like a lot of the fights. But after that we just ate, hung out with everybody, and then honestly, I just went back to sleep. Like I was tired. I was like, man, I can't stay up anymore. The older I get, the more after a fight, I just want to get something to eat, see everybody, and then go to sleep. So nothing too special, just kind of like old people stuff.
Well, after the performance that you had, I think going to bed early and getting a good night's sleep was clearly well deserved. So again, congrats on the win, my man. I know we talked a little bit the last time I interviewed you. We previewed, the 2 title fights. I'll be really interested to get your thoughts on it after you do watch it. I will say, just like I said, Ngannou was going to go out there and wrestle Gon and win a matchup out there wrestling. I'm kidding, clearly. I think no one saw that coming, but yeah, really interesting matchups. Before we transition here, I do want to just get a couple of fight picks from you. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker 2. Tell me who you think's going to win that one, and then Colby Covington and Masvidal was just announced. So I'd like to get your thoughts on those matchups.
I got Whittaker. I like Whittaker, and I really think that, and I'm not a big Adesanya fan. It's something about him that I just really don't. Not like, I don't know, dislike him, but I'm just not a fan, And but with that being said, I mean, he wins. He goes out there, he does it in style too. So nothing but respect to him with his and he's got that kind of, the way he fights kind of brings that star power. Just the way it's flashy and it's clean and he wins. But I think Whittaker is gonna get it this time. I think he's gonna get it back, and it's going to be a good fight, though. I think it's going to go all 5 rounds. I don't think it's going to be finished this time.
Okay. I don't hate hearing that at all, because I'm a huge Bobby Knuckles fan, and who wouldn't want to see a third fight between those two for the belt, right? So I like it. Colby Covington, Masvidal, that is still a little ways out, but I mean, wow, talk about a fight that everyone's looking forward to. Initially, what are your thoughts on that one?
That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a tough fight. I think, of course, I'm going to pull for Masvidal. I know him. Before Colby was at the gym before I came to the gym, but I know there's some bad blood there. I've heard a little bit of the details, but not exactly why. But I'm pulling for Masvidal. I think Masvidal is more dangerous of a fighter. With that being said, Colby's in excellent shape and he's durable. So I think Colby's going to need 5 rounds. Colby's not going to finish Jorge. It's going to be 5 rounds, and that's what he's going to expect to do is 5 rounds of grappling and clinching. But I think Masvidal is just too dangerous. I think that at any moment he could end it. And I don't see that being the case for Covington. So I think Masvidal is going to finish him. I'd say 3rd round. That's my guess. Third round.
Whew, wow. I cannot wait for that fight. I mean, talk about excitement. And this isn't even a title fight. Or maybe they'll put the BMF belt on the line, right? I mean, I think they should. But man, oh man, that is going to get the whole MMA world's attention when that does go down. As far as moving forward for you, Tony, what is your health right now? Like, do you have any type of medical suspension, or are you good to go?
No, I'm good to go. I'm just fat right now. My face is a little swollen, but no, I'm good. The only thing that happened was I was a little swollen from like the kick in the first 20 seconds of the fight, but no, I'm fortunate. No injuries, anything like that. So I'm gonna do a little bit of traveling. my wife's parents are going to come down. We're going to go to Universal Studios in a couple weeks. And then sometime in March, I'm going to be going back to visit some family. So, but realistically, I'm getting back in the gym next week. And, if something pops up, they need me short notice. I'll be back in the gym and training in between my travels. So if something happens and they need me, I'll be ready. But if not, then I'll be ready for any time around like April or into March or something like that. So, but yeah, I've been wondering if I would hear anything soon. Sometimes you hear something right after, sometimes it may not be until like a month after. But next week I'll get back in the gym and get back going and get some of this weight off, and hopefully I'm not too sluggish next week.
Well, I know you're not the trash talking type, so I'm not asking you to do that, but is there someone that, you'd like to step in there next with? I mean, you must have your eyes on a couple of people in the division that you would feel like would make sense and could vault you, into that top 15 discussion.
Yeah, I actually, after the fight, they asked me in the press conference, and I actually would like to fight Chris Gutierrez. There was one point after the Contender Series, which I almost forgot about because it was like almost 2 years ago. But I remember he had mentioned, he had like kind of called me out in an interview, and I can't let that sit, like I can't let that go unpunished. So I would like to fight him. He's got a pretty good record in the UFC. I think that that would be a good fight. That'd be a good win to have. I think he might be maybe 4-1 or 5-1 or something in the UFC. So that would be a good win. A good win to have. So I would like that fight.
Okay, I love it. Tony Gravely, Chris Gutierrez, sign me up. Tony, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Again, a UD win at UFC 270 over Simon Oliveira. Before I let you go, as always, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, floor is yours.
All right, so on Instagram is Tony Gravely 135. If you could give me some likes and some shares, I will post comments I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. First, I like to thank American Top Team for everything they do for me. Dan, Richie, Conan, everybody there, all the coaches, teammates, my coach Bruno, Coach Bahumpa, my corners. I appreciate everything they do for me. They're like family now. So it's really good to have those guys in my corner and everybody else at the gym that pushes me every day. My family, friends. Everybody that watches, that supports me, that always shares my stuff. Thank you for the platform. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that came to the fight. My father-in-law, my buddy Carter, Kessler, Hartley, Jackie. I appreciate you guys coming to the fight. And my wife Kayla. She's been in my corner for every UFC fight now and over 20 professional fights. So she's a ride or die, and I appreciate everything she does for me. And I guess that's it. I'm extremely grateful for the amount of support that I get from everybody, from my community back home in Virginia and in Martinsville and Henry County. And it started there and it spreads. Now it's like kind of worldwide. It's crazy. I get messages from. Well, I'll fight for a worldwide promotion, so there are eyes from all over. So you get people from different countries messaging you. So it's pretty cool just to know that not only you make an impact in like your little region, but it's slowly expanding, worldwide. So that's awesome.